The revolt began on Sunday night, August 21, 1831, at Joseph Travis's farm. During the night, the rebels caught the occupants of the farm completely by surprise, and the sleeping white people were in no position to escape the small rebel force. At the same time, while the rebels were in their own neighborhood, they could recruit enslaved people that they knew to their cause. For example, at Travis's home, the rebels recruited Austin, who, despite living on the same small farm as Turner, had not been included in the feast that the conspirators held during the day. At the same time, however, other enslaved people, even those with strong personal connections to the original conspirators, were hesitant to join the revolt. Hark's brother-in-law, Jack, agreed to join only reluctantly. Others, including the free black man named Emory Evans, who lived on Salathea Francis's farm, refused to join at all. Over the course of the night, the rebels attacked 3 households, killing 8 white people, including a sleeping infant at Travis. As dawn approached on the morning of August 22, the rebels, then numbering about a dozen, changed their method of attack. During the night, they moved stealthily and attacked in silence. During the day, they moved quickly and boldly. At Elizabeth Turner's, Austin shot Hartwell Peebles, the first time that any rebel used a gun to kill someone. During the morning, the rebels also separated into 2 squads, one on horseback and one traveling by foot. This allowed the group on horseback to launch more and faster strikes. These attacks were successful in terms of killing white people. At Catherine Whitehead's plantation, for example, rebels killed all but one of the white residents, including Margaret Whitehead, the only person Turner killed. But the rebels continued to struggle to win supporters among enslaved people. Among Whitehead's 27 enslaved people, the rebels found, at most, a single recruit, and several of Catherine Whitehead's enslaved people foiled the rebels' efforts to kill Harriet Whitehead. At Newitt Harris's even larger plantation, the rebels failed to gain a single recruit. By late morning, it was clear that the rebels would not inspire a mass movement, as they had hoped. Nevertheless, at about 40 enslaved people, the rebel army was a dangerous force. By mid-morning, the challenge of recruiting was compounded by a new problem for the rebels. News about the revolt had spread, making it harder for the rebels to find white victims. Most white people who heard of the revolt immediately fled to the woods, eluding the rebel army. Others tried to create defensible positions. At Levi Waller's farm, the site of a local school, word arrived of the insurrection, and Waller made the decision to gather the children together to defend them. This led to the most devastating raid of the revolt, as the rebels arrived after the children had congregated, but before Waller could set up any defense. Waller's wife and 10 children died during that assault. By midday, when the rebels left Rebecca Vaughn's house, they encountered no more defenseless white people. Arthur Vaughn was the last person killed by the rebel forces. By the afternoon of August 22, 1831, the dynamic of the revolt had shifted in an important way. Turner and his men remained on the offensive, heading to Jerusalem, where they hoped to procure arms and ammunition. But they were being pursued by several groups of white men who had organized to suppress the revolt. At James Parker's farm, a group of whites led by Alexander P. Peet, who had been pursuing the rebels along the road toward Jerusalem, dispersed a small group of rebels who had remained by the gate while the other rebels went to Parker's slave quarters to recruit. This white force then engaged the main rebel force at Parker's farm. Peet and his men were driven from the field. The rebels pursued the fleeing men, but the pursuit led the rebels into an ambush set by other white men who had heard the sounds of fighting. Turner's men were dispersed, and the rebels were turned back from their approach toward Jerusalem. When Nat Turner was captured in October, he was questioned in hopes that he would reveal more information on other insurrections. When questioned about plots in North Carolina, Turner denied all involvement, but stated, "I see, sir, you doubt my word, but can you not think the same ideas? And strange appearances around this time in the heavens might prompt others, as well as myself, to this undertaking." Aptheker 2006, 146. The events that conspired in North Carolina after the Nat Turner Rebellion were mostly all rumors, and the so-called confessions were forced out of many slaves. Thank you, guys, for watching. If you want more videos like this, make sure to like the video and hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next video.